1947, in an undisclosed location in Eastern Europe, the legendary Slammer Samuels and a company of his men are on leave after being behind enemy lines for weeks. But there's no time for rest, as the supply post they're on, miles away from the front line, is ambushed by the legendary Commissar Drugov and the Soviet forces. Will Slammers and his men be able to stop the unstoppable in this week's game of Konflikt 47 2nd Edition? Hey, how's it going? Mike from Mike Rolls Dice. Welcome back for another game of Konflikt 47 2nd Edition here on the channel. Today we have a special game with my buddy Rev. We're actually going to be playing Grand Tactical and picking and choosing the missions that we like. But before we go over all that, let's get started with the army list, starting off with the US forces. So first up is just under 1,500 points of my US forces. Starting off on the left deployed here, we have a bazooka team sitting right next to a veteran Firefly squad, all equipped with their Tesla Thompsons. Right next to them is a regular platoon commander officer with 1 point of guts. So next we have an M4A9T Sherman tank with a +2 pen Tesla cannon and a medium machine gun. Then we have another unit of Fireflies, another 6-man unit of Fireflies with their Tesla Thompsons. And they're right next to the newly painted up Slammer Samuels. Still needs a little work, but shout out to Rev for getting this mini. We're excited to finally have him on the table. He's got a Tesla gauntlet, heavy Tesla weapon, 3 points of guts, point of luck, and he's ready to smash him face. Right next to him we have 2 units of Paragons. There's a single heavy Tesla weapon and 3 close combat weapons, as they can now take them if they're equipped with the Tesla. And then to finish off the army list, we have a linebacker jump walker with 2 HMGs, a light Tesla cannon on the left arm, and a chin-mounted MMG. And last but not least, we have a scout car with a light Tesla cannon equipped. And this list comes in just under 1,500 points, and all the units are on the board, fully deployed. Now on to Rev's Soviet forces. So next up we have just under 1,500 points of Rev's Soviet forces, as well as some new models on the table. So starting off, we have a 3-bear unit of Ursus infantry, and they have their Ursine Fury, as well as close combat and deadly weapons. They're very tough in combat. Next up we have the Mammoth Heavy Walker. It's freshly painted up, and it's not only equipped with a heavy howitzer, as well as a light howitzer, but it also has 2 heavy machine guns. And this thing is pretty serious. It is damage value 11 with the upgraded armor in the front for damage value 12 in the front, but with all that added weight, it has reduced movement speed. Then we have a platoon commander officer with a point of guts, as well as 2 backup troops, and they are equipped with RPGs. Then we have the legendary Commissar Gregor Drugov. He strikes fear in my eyes every time he activates. He not only has 3 points of guts, he has a point of luck, and he has 2 backup Ursus infantry bodyguards. Next up we have a squad of Moraz Ghoul, and they are all equipped with SMGs. And then we have the newly painted up Daughters of the Motherland. They have a cool ability, Rallying Cry, where they can remove pins from other units, and they are equipped with 2 Sukhoi automats. Now with the list out of the way, you can see where the units are deployed. Today we are playing Grand Tactical Mission Rule. And essentially we'll be picking and choosing different missions that we want to play and use them all at once. So we decided to go with 3 simple missions to make it nice and easy. So for Rev and I, we'll get 1 point per enemy unit destroyed, 3 points per objective controlled, except the strategic objective, which is the center. And we'll be getting 5 points if we control the strategic objective in the center around those buildings. So essentially we need to destroy as many units as possible, as well as trying to control the various objectives, which are the forests on either side, and that central objective on the road in the town there. So you can see here the central objective, which will be using the barrel right on the road there as the center point for the main objective. And here are the forests on either side. These are our secondary objectives, which this will be 3 points for the secondary objectives and 5 points for that central objective, as well as trying to maximize our movement without losing any units. We haven't made a video with the Grand Tactical Mission Rule yet, so we were excited to try this out. The US forces used this road to transport supplies to the battlefront, and perhaps the Soviet forces are trying to disrupt their supply route. Alright, well, with that out of the way, let's get going with the start of turn 1. So at the start of turn 1 here, and the US forces are up first, pulling a dice out of the bag. And the M4A9T Sherman is going to be shooting at the Mammoth Heavy Walker opposite of it. It has +2 pen on its Tesla cannon, and it's going to be expending its Rift Dice for its Tesla arc ability, getting 3 additional shots. I'm missing with all but being able to reroll 1 hit because of the US Army special rule. Managing to get a hit, but not able to penetrate the heavy armor of the Mammoth Walker. Now firing with its hull-mounted MMG into the platoon commander squad. Scoring a single hit, but just managing a pin. Forward, men, for the Soviet Union! Pulling a dice out of the bag again, the US forces are up again. And this time the Paragons that are up against the building there are going to be advancing with their fast movement of 8 inches right into the edge of the forest, securing the objective on the far side. Get into that tree line, damn it! Let's go! Move it! The Soviets are coming in hot! Get ready! US forces are on a hot streak here, pulling dice, and next up, the bazooka team on the edge of the hill over here, this forested area, going to be advancing into the edge of the terrain here and lining up a shot with its bazooka into the Mammoth Heavy Walker. Moving, they get a -1 to hit here, so they'll be hitting on a 5. Gets a +6 pen bonus, but the front armor on that Mammoth is 12. It's going to need a 6th glance. Steady now. Let's try and find the weak spot. Get ready. On my mark. Fire! Fortunately, it misses as some of the foliage perhaps gets in the way. What the hell's that thing made out of? The armor's too thick! After receiving some minor inconvenience from the incoming fire on the US side, the Mammoth Walker is activating now, firing both of its howitzers at the Fireflies to the right of the Tesla, as well as shooting its right forward-facing HMG at the bazooka team in the forest.
Hold! Steady now. The Americans are in our sight.
Passing its order test first. Now starting off with the HMG into the bazooka team there in the forest. Fortunately missing with all of its shots. Next firing the heavy howitzer with its big template against the Fireflies here, getting all of the Fireflies underneath the template. And after firing the light howitzer as well and failing some saves from the heavy howitzer shot, Fireflies are just left with 2 out of the original 6 in the squad. Jesus! We gotta get the hell out of here, Sarge! We're taking fire! Taking a morale test after losing so many models out of the squad, half or more, so luckily they pass and they do not flee. And Rev forgetting his army rule at the start of the turn, rolling a d6 for each unit on the board for the harmonic resonance ability, and managing to actually get some pins on the linebacker, the Paragons, and that Firefly squad. Ursus infantry are up next, and again due to the dense terrain in the forest, They are just advancing forward even with their fast movement, getting inside the terrain and staging for potential charge in a later turn. And the Fireflies that got so heavily pinned up from all of the howitzer fire and the harmonic resonance, they are rallying on their activation, attempting to strip off all the pins, and luckily they are successful. It'll make it much easier to activate in a future turn.
Hold your ground, damn it. We ain't going anywhere.
Paragons with the pin here are activating, passing their order test, taking the pin away. They're taking a bold move and moving right into the central objective here, attempting to take and hold it and forcing Rev's hand.
Go, go, go. We can't let slammers down. Get ready, men. They'll be coming any second for us.
And with that move, Rev does take the opportunity here to launch a attack with the Moraz Ghoul, running around from behind the building here, equipped with SMGs and moving into point-blank range. They're going to be opening up with quite a lot of shots.
My God, what the hell are those things?
Starting off with an RPG first, though. Managing to hit, as well as successfully take out one of the Paragons in point-blank range. And after unleashing an ungodly amount of SMG fire onto the Paragons with the +2 bonus, they managed to successfully wound all of them, but using a point of guts here, I changed one of the damage rolls from a 6 to a 5, leaving one Paragon remaining.
You'll never take me alive, damn it! Come and get some! Ah!
Hearing the cries for help over the radio from their battle brothers, the linebacker Jump Walker now makes its way forward around the building, moving into point-blank range. Not only that, but getting a line of sight with its Tesla cannon into Commissar Drugov. It'll be shooting with its MMGs and HMGs into the Moraz Ghoul and the Tesla into Commissar Drugov.
Don't worry, brother, I'm here. Linebacker ready for fire order.
Starting off with the HMGs into the Moraz Ghoul. Getting a +2 bonus, so hitting on 3s, being able to reroll 1. And with +1 pen against the toughness 6 Moraz Ghoul, making 3 successful damage rolls. So the MMG is up next. No pen bonus on this one. And the light Tesla cannon expending its Rift Dice, Tesla arcing against Commissar Drugov. Managing 2 hits here, but with toughness 7 and only +1 pen, not managing to take any of the Ursus bodyguards out. So the great Slammer Samuels is up next. He's going to be activating here and seeing the Moraz Ghoul taking out some of his Paragons in the center. He's not quite happy about that. He's going to be moving forward here with this fast movement of 8 inches. Moving within 6 inches of the Moraz Ghoul, he is now able to shoot with his heavy Tesla cannon on the assault profile, 3 shots +1 pen.
God damn it. All I wanted to do was hang out for 2 hours and finish my cigar.
Being able to reroll 1 hit here thanks to the US Army rule. And scoring 2 successful damage rolls against the Moraz Ghoul, taking them out.
Take that, you damn beasts! Get out of here!
Commissar Drugov now activating after dodging some light Tesla cannon shots, easily jumps over the hedgerows with his Ursus infantry bodyguards, activating their Ursine Fury ability to gain the fast movement and extra pen on their attacks, and charges straight into the linebacker Jump Walker. Being that the Walker was actually advancing, the Walker is actually going to get a couple free attacks with its legs and its arms first. linebacker actually managing to score 2 successful damage rolls with its arms here. The hard to kill ability failing on the Ursus infantry, but Rev using a guts roll to change one of the damage rolls to save an Ursus infantry. Thanks to activating the Ursine Fury, Drugov having deadly 3, the Ursus infantry having deadly 4, they go up to +3 pen for the rest of the turn. And with that, they easily take out the linebacker after making a full damage roll. Enraged, seeing one of his precious linebackers taken out in action, Slammer Samuels puts his dice back in the bag using his guts so he can attempt to go again. And Drugov and the Ursus infantry get a consolidation move closer to Slammer Samuels. After drawing their dice out of the bag, Slammer Samuels is going again, activating his Rift Dice ability for his Tesla Gauntlet. He needs to roll a d6 to see how much extra pen he's getting.
Tesla gave me a gift, and now I'm gonna use it, damn it.
After rolling a 1 and using a point of guts to actually change that to a 2, he makes a single attack with +2 pen. Unfortunately, the Ursus infantry have toughness 7, and after the first round of combat, they successfully take out Slammers, but his point of luck kicks in, and he survives for another round of combat. Unfortunately, even with the Tesla Gauntlet ability, Drugov and his Ursus infantry with their Ursine Fury are too tough, and they take out the leader of the US forces. As a reminder, folks, only charge Slammer Samuels into vehicles, not into infantry, especially big ones. Not really having much course of action here, the M3 scout car is just going to go on ambush. Using a point of guts from Commissar Drugov, Rev puts the dice from the Moraz Ghoul back into the bag, and after successfully pulling it, the lone 2 Moraz Ghoul now skirt around the side of the Paragons and take some shots with their SMGs and their RPGs. But only managing to pin after missing most of their shots. Now using another point of guts to put a different dice back in the bag, which you're allowed to do, Commissar Drugov is activating now and running around the building with visuals, being able to charge into the Fireflies.
Are you ready, my compatriot? These men will be our lunch. Tear them to shreds.
And with the Ursine Fury, the Fireflies put up a good fight, but unfortunately they are taken out. With the consolidation move back towards the center, Drugov has successfully taken out 3 different units. But by doing so, sprinting the ambush on the M83 Tesla scout car, only managing 1 singular successful hit with the Tesla, needing a 6 with the toughness 7 Ursus infantry. And unfortunately, not managing to do any damage with the HMGs. Soviet platoon commander is moving forward, taking some cover behind the building here, getting closer towards that central objective.
Forward, men, for the Soviet Union!
And the Fireflies on the far left near the forest here are activating, taking their full movement of 12 inches, and whatever eligible Fireflies are in range, shooting with their 12-inch profile on the Thompsons. 2 shots each and +1 pen. Managing a successful damage roll, but the hard to kill on the Ursus bodyguard, saving its life. So now the US platoon commander over here on the left side is just moving behind the Tesla and the Fireflies, giving a +2 morale bonus, as well as being able to potentially use its guts to put something back in the bag. The last activation here for the Soviets, the newly painted Daughters of the Motherland, which look awesome by the way, Rev did an amazing job, are advancing into the forest here, being that it's dense terrain, but not having any eligible shots at the moment. And with that, that is the end of turn 1. And already the US forces are in dire straits. I think I played it a little risky with the Paragons, but having Slammer Samuels, he looks so cool with his Tesla gauntlet. I was like, oh yeah, I could definitely take out some of the bears, but never underestimate Commissar Drugov. He is an absolute powerhouse. That being said, the US forces still have quite a lot of powerful assets on the board here. Got some work cut out ahead of me here. We're going to have to try and make a comeback. With that being said, this is the end of turn 1. We're going on to the start of turn 2. Start of turn 2 here, and the Soviet harmonic resonance ability leading to a single pin on both the platoon commander and the lone Paragon in the center. I'm assuming they're blasting hard boss through their speakers and drinking vodka. So starting off here, the heavy mammoth walker now is activating, and it's going to be opening up with its light and heavy howitzers, targeting the fireflies, using the template to hit the fireflies, then being able to hit the Sherman as well. Starting off with the front forward right facing HMG into the bazooka team, and then firing with both of its howitzers. Luckily for the US forces, missing. Now the Sherman Tesla tank is activating. It's going to be advancing. It's going to be pivoting and driving over the hedgerows here, or the fence line, right up into the face of Commissar Drugov, getting a point blank bonus to its shooting and activating its Tesla arc ability to get 3 extra shots. Going to be hitting on 3s here, being that it moved, but the +2 from being in point blank range. And after a couple successful damage rolls and a failed hard kill roll from the Ursa's bodyguard, manages to just leave Commissar Drugov left.
We gotta take this damn freak out. He's killing all of us.
I'm pulling a rift dice out of the bag here and rolling it, managing to get an active one. Assigning it to the Tesla scout car. And now the Fireflies are going to be activating here. They are going to be taking an advance order, flying over the fence line with their jump packs. They're going to move within 6, getting their +2 to their shooting. They're going to fire with their Teslas with the single shot ability for the +2 pen.
Don't worry, Commander, we're here. Get ready, men. Load up your E-slugs.
Managing a successful damage roll, being that Commissar Drugov is surging. He has toughness 8. But unfortunately, the hard to kill roll saves him. And activating their rift dice ability, they are going to use their get out of hell ability, managing to get a little bit further away from Drugov.
Let's get the hell out of here. This guy's invincible. Move it.
Now the Moraz Ghoul are activating in the center, firing first with their RPG. Managing to take out the lone Paragon on the central objective. Getting out of dodge, the Tesla scout car moving forward is attempting to take out some of the Daughters of the Motherland in the dense terrain over there. Using his Tesla arc ability, expending a rift dice to generate 3 additional shots.
Target acquired.
And managing to take out one of the Daughters of the Motherland with a Tesla shot. As well as one of them with an HMG shot. So Commissar Drugov activating now, and with the Fireflies fleeing, he runs right past them unconcerned and charges directly into the Paragons that are on the objective. Now the Paragons do have pretty good odds here. They have an assault Tesla gun, they have SMGs, and they have close combat weapons. But unfortunately, activating his Ursine Fury ability, getting the +3 pen, and being toughness 8 due to the surging. Commissar Drugov wins the combat and takes the objective.
It's too easy when your enemy is so weak and brittle.
So now Daughters of the Motherland are moving out after losing a couple of their sisters in the forest there to that Tesla scout car. They're going to be moving out into the open now that there is no threats and attempting to move closer towards the central objective.
Forward, sisters! Do not retreat!
So the US force is now activating, and the bazooka team in the forest ignoring the mammoth's heavy armor, taking aim and firing at the Ursus infantry. And successfully managing to hit and damage, but with the hard to kill being in cover, the Ursus infantry is unscathed. And with that rocket shot firing into the woods there, the Ursus infantry make their way out into the open, threatening a charge next turn onto the bazooka team. US Force Platoon Commander moving forward towards the Tesla here, providing some support and getting cover behind the buildings.
Hold your ground, men! We must hold the base at all costs!
But seeing the US Forces Commander run by, the Soviet Platoon Commander and his goons leap out from behind the building and run towards the Tesla tank. As well as, after activating, using their point of guts to put their dice immediately back in the bag. And going again here, moving forward, getting ever closer to the Tesla tank for the plus shot bonus and a side profile. That way they can open fire with their RPGs.
Glory to the heroes of Mother Russia!
And are going to be rolling to see how many RPG shots they get here, shooting at the side profile of the Tesla tank. And after managing a successful full damage roll here, rolling a 6 on the full damage chart, they managed to take out the Tesla tank at point blank range with the RPG. The end of turn 2 here, and Rev and the Soviets have managed to push out onto quite a lot of objectives here and get into the central point, and are slowly whittling down the US forces. And with that, that's the end of turn 2. Moving on to the start of turn 3. Start of turn 3 here, and the Soviet forces are up first. Rev activating the Ursine Fury ability on the Ursus infantry, gaining fast and +3 pen in close combat, and they're charging towards the bazooka team here. Now reactive fire with the bazooka team getting a hit, but unfortunately a unsuccessful damage roll.
Ah! That thing just ate a rocket!
As the two American troops attempt to fight off the Ursus infantry, they are slaughtered with no mercy from the Soviet forces. And now US forces activating here, and the M8A3T scout car with this light Tesla is driving into point blank range, firing its Tesla arc ability, expending a rift dice into the Daughters of the Motherland here, getting 3 successful wounds. Rev managing to get a surging dice at the end of the turn for them, so they actually have hard to kill. And only managing to take 2 out with the Tesla, none with the HMG. So US forces activating here, and fed up with this Commissar Drugov, they move into point blank range here, and the full squad, all 6 Fireflies, choosing the E-Slug profile for +2 pen.
This is for slammers! Die, you bastard! Die!
And unfortunately, still surging with toughness 8, they don't manage any successful damage rolls. And now with Commissar Drugov having a bunch of E-Slugs ricochet off of him, he charges into the Fireflies.
Fresh meat.
Fireflies do have very good close combat capabilities, but again, needing to roll 6s into 6s here, due to the fact that Commissar Drugov is surging. Second round of combat going, and Commissar Drugov managing to easily win the combat round and take out all of the Fireflies.
You fools! You never learn, do you? I am unstoppable!
U.S. forces activating here, and the platoon commander is in dire straits. He rushes right into point-blank range and fires with his rifle here, but manages to not take out any of the Soviet platoon commander and his goons. Daughters of the Motherland activating here, moving behind the M83 scout car, activating their Rift Dice firing with the Zukioev automat with a rear profile shot on the scout car.
Now, sisters, hit them with the Zukioev automat! Fire!
And with the plus pen bonus from the rear shot and getting a full damage roll of a 6, they managed to take out the scout car. Soviet platoon commander is up now, and after dodging a rifle shot point blank, they turn around and open fire on the U.S. platoon commander. And take him out. So at this point, I went ahead and called it. All of the units were taken out off the board. That was a clean sweep on turn 3. Rev tabling me on turn 3. Definitely some poor choices on the U.S. forces side on my part. Getting a little cocky with the Paragons and such. But with the surging bonuses and the hard to kill on a lot of the units, it's really tough not having the melee capabilities in the U.S. Army. So that being said, you need to play it smart when it comes to using your firepower. So I could have played it much better for sure, but anyways, it's always a good time having 2 heroes show down. And next time, I'll send Slammer Samuels into the Mammoth and not into those raging cocaine bears. That being said, we always have a good time playing Konflikt here on the channel. And whether it's a quick game like this one or a game that goes into turn 7, we always have a good time laying out some minis and filming game for you folks. With that being said, shout out to Rev again for coming and filming. His Soviet forces are looking great as always. And one of these days I could spend a little time painting myself. I'm not editing different YouTube videos every day.
Well done, comrades. It seems the Americans are getting soft on us. We shall secure this supply line and reinforce our troops from the rear. It is time we give them leave. Perhaps I should actually congratulate you for once.
Glory to Mother Russia! Glory to Mother Russia!
Yes, these capitalist big dogs shall know the true might of the Soviet power.
Alright, well, my name is Mike from Mike Rolls Dice. Thank you again for tuning in to another battle report of Konflikt 2nd edition here. We actually filmed another game a couple days after this, just yesterday, of me recording this. And it's the first time Rev is going to be showcasing his new British forces here on the channel, his British army. So get ready, the robots are coming, and we're going to be having a showdown in the desert. Well, thank you so much for watching. My name is Mike from Mike Rolls Dice. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe to the channel as we try to put out a new Konflikt 47 battle report every week or so, as well as some other games. Well, thank you so much for watching. As always, keep rolling high on those dice.